all every night going out, doing their jobs, writing jokes instead of just doing a racist podcast. People show up to see how much taller than you they are. Go ahead, I don't care. I will accept that life. Take pictures, I don't care. Measure me, I don't care. Put your dick out. Take a picture of your dick. I'll put my arm around your dick and take a picture of your dick. It'll cost you $20. I'm good at business. I'm going to maintain that amount of my dignity. You listening? Good. That's kind of how the show works. That's sort of the premise, is I say things and then you listen to them. It's the whole deal, really. We'll hang out afterwards. This will be fun. I've been to Chicago in, I guess, about 3.5 weeks. A little job to take care of. A couple of weeks ago. A secret op. You can call it. In the special forces community. As a Navy SEAL, that it would be tight if Navy SEALs did the Jussie Smollett thing. You know? Just to prove that they could. Because nobody, Chris Kyle kind of turned out to be an asshole. And they needed to win. They're like, see, look what we can do. We got you to believe that it was Nigerian. Of course it wasn't. I don't know. It's funny, it's like probably everyone in this room was suspected by the police department. It's everyone here. There's really only suspects is the people that are here right now. Some of you almost got hemmed up. And frankly, it would have been tight if you did. One of us deserves to get hemmed up on some bullshit. I guess. That was a funny story. It was very. I don't think that story could have ended in a funnier way. It really doesn't get any better. It's like everything, because I think a lot of people were like, this seems kind of fishy. But if he went out and said, 2 Nigerian bodybuilders, he was like, well, that didn't happen either. That also doesn't make any sense. And at the end of the day, it's still the Subway sandwich restaurant taking the L. They barely get over the pedophile stuff. And they're like, fuck it, lean in. Let's go, we're the hate crime sandwich shop. That makes people forget about the pedophile thing. Fuck it. You want to hate crime yourself, come on down. The Subway. Anything but Jared. Anything but him. I wonder how he's doing. I don't know.
He is a loving.
He has what? He's got a lot of support. What'd you say? You can say, I don't give a shit. Hey. No, hang on. He's what? He's getting ass blasted? I choose to believe that's a myth. I don't believe in prison. I'm a prison rape truther. This is the only victims I don't believe in. Well, I mean, you can't disbelieve the real victims anymore. That's mean, right? Why don't we just reserve it for the guys in prison? You told me a story about Subway Jared being raped. I mean, I can scratch the itch of being like, well, what was he wearing? Get out on them. Whatever. Can you imagine some guy like a pedophile in jail that's like being just sodomized day in, day out, all day long, and then through whatever news is being smuggled up his friend's ass from the outside world, he's like reading about the Me Too movement. He's like, finally! Someone's gonna do something about this. And he's just trying to like show the hashtag who's the same. So like, I don't know what this is. So yeah, I don't have access to social media. So I'm gonna keep raping you. Sure. Anybody do any time? Any hard time?
6 hours.
What's that?
6 hours.
6 hours?
Yeah, detained.
For what?
For,
What race is... I want to know if I should be on your side or not. Well, I don't know. That also depends on what race you are. So, we can play this game all night. Figure out which one that is. I was just in Japan recently. Their prison's fucked up. Do you know about their prison?
yeah.
They the food is good, but then they make you you have to bow constantly. It destroys your knees because it's like a POW camp. I mean, they're like regular society is already pretty regimented, but their prison's even worse. I don't know. I spend a lot of time worrying about like the Chinese invading. I'm not worried about. I mean, like I'm cool with them, so I'm sure I would be fine. You know. But I do like how people are like, oh well, you know, they're all gonna put us in like just awful labor camps or whatever, and it's like you can't even imagine what their camps would be like. You can't even fathom what a Chinese prison would be like. Because every description I hear of these hypothetical Chinese prisons sounds exactly like regular Chinese society. You know, like they form human centipedes for fun. I've seen it. They disguise it as a dragon, but I don't eat that fucking thing. And you think that that's the worst thing waiting for you in Chinese prison? It's a holiday for them. No. I don't know. I do. I would love to be in a Chinese prison. Japan, though, that couldn't seem fucked up. I kind of had a weird time in Japan. Because and this will sound dumb, but it's smart. And, I did not realize how Japanese Japan is. How many of them are Japanese. You know what I mean? Like, I know that sounds dumb, but like I wouldn't go to England and expect everyone to be like, you know, top hat, monocle, like, oh, what's the news, governor? You wouldn't think that, right? There'd be at least like one Caribbean guy, but not in Japan. They're just all completely Japanese. And they like don't have like Me Too there at all. Like not in the slightest. Like they love rape. There's not a single, no indication that Me Too is a thing. Unless it's the Emperor's name, you know what I'm talking about? But no, it's not part of it. You go into the 7-Eleven and half the magazine rack is like rape magazine. You know, I don't speak Japanese, and they're cartoons, you know, but so I'm assuming some of it's for children, but I was never on the side that, you know, well, not never on the side. I mean, they need a little bit. You know, they need a little bit of reform. My biggest gripe, though, is everything there is a fucking robot, right? You know? And then none of the robots speak English. Which, like, I'm not even a guy that's like, if you come to America, you better speak English. Like, I don't give a shit. Speak whatever language you want, you know? What does it matter? It's like, I'll still get the blowjob, you know what? It's a big deal. I'll work with you work with me. But, yeah, I mean, I would never, beyond that, I would never go to another country and be like, you speak my language, don't speak African, whatever, I wouldn't do that. But if it's a fucking robot, it's like, just teach the fucking robot English. It doesn't, I don't care about robot culture. It's not offensive to demand that this robot speaks English. I blame George Lucas, personally. With R2-D2, who's the worst of the two, to be honest with you. They have the other robot that clearly speaks English. And his job is to translate things for people. And then the other one refuses to learn English. Until everyone has to learn whatever that deep, brutal shit. You gotta teach those Japanese robots. Especially considering that the toilets are also robots over there. Yeah. What's that? No, nothing. And I don't know if you shit like I do, where it's like how I file taxes, which is down to the fucking wire. April 16th. You know, it's like, I don't know where is it. I'll start shitting now. You know? The first time that happens to you in Japan and you finish shitting, you're like, oh, thank God, I guess I'll do what I've done anytime I've ever taken a shit in my life, which is press a handle, and then you're confronted with, like, an 80s entertainment center remote. It's just like, this is like more. I guess I'll just leave this one for the Emperor. That's what happens with the turns. The turns in Tokyo. I went to Australia after that. They're even worse. They don't know English either. They're already understand. It's just like 6'5" toddlers. The entire oh, that I think, like, why are they getting? Did it seem like an obscene amount of reverence for Steve Irwin this year? Well, I guess I'm not right. You're like applauding for him. What the fuck happened in the last year? People were like, he cured cancer. He got rid of the R word. You know, it's like he was a man that went around harassing animals. I don't understand. His daughter is hot, but that's probably the best thing he's ever done. And most guys with hot daughters are fucking assholes, hence why the daughter became hot. I don't know. I mean, maybe he was, I guess, the only guy with a hot daughter that wasn't an asshole. Is that? I don't know. I mean, this might not go anywhere. I'm just genuinely baffled that people are so upset about the death of Steve Irwin. Because that's all they have. That's their chief export in Australia. Guys that harass wildlife while wearing boys' shorts. You know, it's just Texas with hot pants. That's all. That's what it is. Well, folks, I've been doing better lately. I had a rough spell for a while. I tried two things. I've gained 20 pounds. Yeah, it feels good. It feels good to just be a fat piece of shit. And then I'm also on pills so I don't kill myself. I'm not sure which one's it.
Get off those.
No. Eventually. What's that? Klonopin?
I like Klonopin. Oh my god.
Okay, well, take some of them. Give a shit. Hey, look, we're all on medicine now, right? Herpes medicine. Everybody takes it. We don't need to disclose anymore. But I had to go to therapy to get the pills, which I was always kind of, I don't want to get, I think as like any Irish American, you should be afraid of therapy. It's important. You shouldn't trust it. And it's the main reason is because they don't do like spot treatment. You know what I'm saying? If you go to a dermatologist, you're like, oh, I think this is skin cancer. They're not like, well, let's tear off all your skin. Let's see what's underneath your skin. And touch every part of all of your nerves. Let's do that. I kind of just want the mole removed. I don't know why. Like a therapist won't just go for the one. It's kind of like going to a mechanic, where they upsell you and shit. Like, I got a problem with my Toyota. And they're like, okay, well, for starters, that's not even a Toyota. That's problem number one, pal. You fact, it's not even a car, it's just a picture of you being molested. How much is that going to cost? Because I came in for the other thing. I didn't want to talk about that. I thought it was just a fluid issue. I'm like, well, technically, yeah. Lithium now. Cool, huh? Kurt Cobain, man. Fucking hell yeah, dude. Fucking bring my back acne back at 30 years old. Right. It doesn't stop. It just gives you a reason to kill yourself. That's the thing. I'm like, oh, I guess it makes sense that I kill myself. I was thinking about taking steroids. Why not, right? You should all try it once. You know? In moderation. That's not how you do steroids. even if you're not respecting the principle of moderation when you're doing steroids. I think going for a brisk walk 30 minutes a day is moderation. They're like, yeah, I'm gonna permanently fuck with my body chemistry. I don't even really want to do the steroid. The thing is, like, I've never been like the kind of person to cheat on somebody. You know, I don't think that's fair, but I do like hiding things from my girlfriend. You know, and I just want that feeling. You know? It's like, get out of the freezer, I'll get the ice cream. Don't go in there. It'll make me angrier, right? So we just get into fights about stuff. It's like, what are you hiding? I'm like, nothing! Cool, dude. It's big, 1 million pounds. What's that? Oh, antlers, yeah. I said recently that I would, like, if I could get any surgery, I would get it.
Painted a sick image about it.
What's that?
Painted a sick image about it.
Did I paint?
Yeah, we can talk about it.
Somebody else? Okay, we're not going to do a podcast fucking clip show. We're not doing that. Yeah, well, it would be bad, but I'll say that it will be bad. I just chuck all the lithium out. No, not everybody has a dad, man. So, I'm fucking brag about that shit. You know who doesn't get to fuck their dad? Bindi Irwin. And she's here right now! Therapy's all right. I was hesitant to go for a long time because I also couldn't afford it, you know, and that's like a big, and it, you know, who gives a shit? But I mean, like, healthcare should be free. That's kind of like a given. Everybody should have access to it. It's like, you can go to Six Flags for free if you drink enough soda. Like part of our economic system is set up that way. And if you drink enough cans of Coca-Cola, you can just wheelbarrow them into Six Flags. Like, look what I did to myself! Get in there! Get the fuck in there, pal! We're cutting your legs off from a teacup. I just feel like the hospital should work the same way. I couldn't afford therapy for a long time, and now I can because I'm rich. But I can also afford the world's fanciest suicide, and that should not be discounted right away. I don't have to jump in front of a train like a peasant. I can go all out, folks. We're talking Indian wedding style. Okay, a procession of elephants. I'm riding the most magnificent of them, wearing the traditional garb, fishnet sleeves, and a My Chemical Romance shirt. Cut marks in Sanskrit all over my arm. I ride in on the elephant into the Dave & Buster's. And I've got one of those big antique ceremonial rifles, like the kind Gaston had, you know, with the bell on the end, and there's just scripture engraved on it. And I've already shattered my jaw to fit the large rifle in my mouth. I gestured to everyone, I'm here to kill myself! And then I just blow my brains out in front of whoever the fuck is still going to Dave & Buster's. Which I would assume is just people that don't know you can kill yourself. And they're like, what was that? What did he just do? There's an option? You don't need to just play video poker for the rest of your life? You can kill yourself? And then I've saved those people. And I get to die a hero. Which is what we all want. So I guess if I had to describe the show, it would be sort of like Papa John meets Nanette. Imagine it. The synthesis between those two people. Shout out to him for not trying to make a comeback. Papa John. Everyone else did, but not him. That's brave. Everybody, you know, Louis, not Papa John. He's like, they got me. I'm fucking racist. I'm surprised it took that long to get that guy. You know? You had to like use the N-word on a conference call. He's the president of a company before people are like, okay, this guy's probably racist. You know? I think, but, you know, it was pretty obvious he was racist the whole time. Nobody gives a shit because it was anti-Italian racism. You know he's not Italian, right? His name's John Schnatter. He's from Kentucky. He was like, man, nobody's buying John Schnatter's pizza. He's like, but what if I fucking talk like this? Ah! And we're going, oh, it's a stupid data. Why didn't you say it was Dunlop Pizza? I mean, this guy probably beats his wife, but that sauce. Mamma mia. You know? You couldn't do that with any other race. You couldn't get away with that. John Schnatter couldn't open up a wing restaurant. It's like, no one's buying John's wings. But what if I was Le John? Are you ready for the blackest wings you ever had? And you're like, all right, John. No. You gotta take the makeup off. At least switch the radio spots. You can't go on TV. Go on TV like that. You know? It's just doing a racist Italian character. It makes you think. It's like, did he even mean all that shit he said about those NFL players, or is that just what an Italian guy would say? What a guy from Staten Island would say about black athletes. I'm going to tell you guys a story, and what the point of the story is to fill up time. The point of the story is a story in which I am a victim. And I want to establish that because if later you think I'm making fun of victims, I just want you to know that I am, but it's someone else's fault. You know? I'm just paying it forward. It's a story that takes place about 9 years ago. I was young, I was excited about comedy, and I moved out to Los Angeles, right, to pursue a career, right, as a comedian. And at the time, I was still like a very drunk guy. You know, I didn't, similar to now, I still don't have social skills, but I would cope by drinking a lot. And I went out to the Hollywood Improv, which is like a famous club. And it was kind of a big moment. It was overwhelming. Because you get there, and there's like, you know, pretty successful, famous comedians around, and it's a lot of pressure. And then like on the walls are these like portraits of people that you like admire and respect. It's like, you know, Robin Williams and Chris Rock and Bill Cosby. And it was before. It was before anyone knew. Well, it was before anyone cared. People knew, but people didn't really care at the time, so it was fun. And I got really drunk. You know, I was like overwhelmed. I got drunk, and I don't remember much. The last thing I remember is shaking one of the managers, going, "I'm gonna fucking die out here." You know, like what kind of like a histrionic person I was. And then they kicked me out, and I came to in the alley behind the club, and that's important because I've been kicked out of bars before, but never like in the back, you know, like where Lady and the Tramp have sex. You know, I've never been drunk enough where they're like, "Get this guy out of here." They're like, "No, with the garbage. You don't want him sullying the reputation of this establishment. Put him in the back," right? So, you know, I was like trying to, I don't know what I did. I was trying to like construct an apology in my head. And I was like, all right, pretty sure I could smooth this over. And then they wouldn't let me back in, luckily. So I wandered off into the night trying to find my car. And my plan was I was going to get my car and drive to Montana to attend a taxidermy school that I had read about the week prior, in which you pay $6,000 to attend a school and they give you a bear pelt, and at the end of the class you make a bear. And what I wanted to do was make bear pants. So you take the lower half of the bear, put like a hula hoop in the waist, and then use suspenders to walk around with the lower half of the bear. That was going to be my Shark Tank idea. So, I don't know who was going to go for it, Mark Cuban, or probably the FUBU guy, right? You've been all for the bear pants. But I couldn't find my car, so if you're wondering why we don't have bear pants, you know, that's been a big question. It's because of that. But I couldn't find my car, you know. And then I was really fucking lost. I couldn't find my car, couldn't find my way back to the club, and then I was just wandering around West Hollywood, just screaming. I didn't have like a phone or anything, you know, I didn't know where to call anybody. And this guy in a Prius pulls up, right? And he rolls down the window and he's like, "Hey, you okay? Because you're screaming at nothing." And I was like, you know, I had a moment of sincerity. I was like, "I'll be honest with you, no. I'm like lost. I don't need like money. I don't have a phone. I don't know where my car is. You know, I'm like, this is like actually like a real low point for me. I'm like kind of fucked up." And he was like, "Well, get in my car and I'll help you out." And I was like, "Okay, yeah, sure." Yeah, this guy seems cool. This guy seems pretty tight. This guy seems like a good Samaritan. Where is Samaria? Does anyone know? Where's this country filled with good people? Anyways, so I get in this guy's car, and he had like a GPS or whatever, and he was like, "Where do you need to go?" And I was so fucked up, I didn't know how to work, so I was just like, "To my car." Say that at the thing. And then we just start driving, and then we're like talking, and I'm like I have no idea what's going on. It's like, I don't know, the later seasons aren't as good. I thought like the writing in the first two was some of the best American satire you ever. And then it's like, okay, what the fuck is going on? Where am I? Like I walked to the club from my car. I don't remember walking on the highway. And I was like, wait a minute, where are we going? And he's like, I'm just hanging out. You know? I'm just making friends. A couple of guys, 3 o'clock in the morning, hanging out. And I started getting real uncomfortable, right? So I was like, all right, I'm not really comfortable with this. And he's like, hey, you know what? Relax. You know, we'll like have a good time. And then he starts rubbing his hand up my, admittedly basketball shorts. You know. I'm not gonna blame the victim, but there's no reason why I should have basketball shorts. I'm not an athlete. There's no, and, you know, it's no asking for it. But if you're out with basketball shorts on and a Red Fox graphics tee, I don't know, it also just makes me think back to the club and those poor bouncers. They must be like, man, should we kick this retarded guy? Are they even legally allowed to drink? Is it drunk or is it like a chromosome? Is he overdosing on peanut M&Ms? What is happening? This mentally disabled man. I guess. So anyways, he's like grabbing my dick, I guess. And it's crazy, that happens, you just sort of lock up, you're like... Go like, huh? What do I do? What the hell? So I freaked out and I batted his hand away. I was like, man, let me out of your fucking car or else. And or else is, he gets to have sex. Call the old bluff on that one? I can't do anything, right? I don't know how to defend myself. I don't know karate. I certainly don't know in-the-car karate. Fucking Rush Hour 3 shit. That would be awesome. We should teach women that. How to get out of, like, the, you know, where Jackie Chan just has the steering wheel and the handcuff. That'd be cool. I think that. Anyways, he pulled over. Like, he immediately pulled over. So in his mind, that entire thing was consensual up until that point. That was all, like, I was just a guy, I'm like, nobody fuck me! Like, no, I'll just fuck this homeless person. I'll just fuck this homeless retarded person. I thought I was having a pretty bad night until this homeless retard came around. And I'm like, don't fuck me! And he's like, again. Anyways, he pulls off, and this is how much of a bitch I was about it. He said pulling away, I was like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I apologize to him. Kind of wish he hadn't let me out though, you know? Right? For story's sake. Just put a nice little bid on that one, you know? Because I really, I mean, honestly, just for the joke, because I can't think of a better analogy for living in Los Angeles than being violently assaulted in a Prius. It's all of the aesthetics and trappings of helping people while you're destroying them from the inside. So, me too, I guess. Are we far enough into the Me Too movement yet?
Yes.
No? What does that mean? More rapes? Yeah. I didn't finish the question, so I don't know. I don't know what the implication is. I just want to know if it's safe yet, or not, doesn't make me look like an asshole to point out that Me Too is kind of a shitty name. That's it. That's all I want to say. That's it. I just we at least acknowledge that they picked the worst name possible. Me Too? It sounds incredibly dismissive. Imagine you're listening to somebody tell you the most horrific thing that's ever happened. This unbearable trauma that will haunt them for the rest of their lives. They're like, and the police didn't believe me? And all my friends called me a liar? And then somebody walks in, they're like, yeah, me too! Yeah, oh, what do you got, a sad story? Sister, been there, done that. Yeah, cry a little violin for me, sweetheart. Me too, baby. Call it literally anything else. I don't know. Also, I can't hear Me Too without thinking of like a sassy gay guy that's like, me 3. You know, this guy, he keeps secrets. You trust him. You trust him not to tattle on people. I don't know. Is that too much? I'm trying to be a better guy, you know? Trying to help out the world a little bit. I'm starting a charity this year. Did you guys know that? What's that? Me 2.0. That's cool. It's like a robot that what would that be? Me 2.0. What would it?
Japanese robots.
Okay. A rape robot. We peaked at Me 2.0, and it should have been left orphaned like Mindy Irwin. Me 2.0 is your hot daughter that should have watched you die as soon as you birthed her. Now you're destroying your life by sticking around. I am starting a charity. With the new tax plan, that's the only way to hide money. You gotta go bullshit charity. I tried laundering cryptocurrencies, nothing really worked out. My charity is called Blades for AIDS. Not funny. Okay, it's very serious. What we do is we buy rollerblades for guys with AIDS. And I know what you're thinking. Those guys already have rollerblades. Yes, I know. I know that. I already thought of that. Okay, but as the disease progresses, you lose bone mass, you go down a shoe size, you're going to need new rollerblades. And that's where we come in. And we're keeping those guys on the boardwalks. To resist. To resist it. Donald Trump, resist. You guys resisting? We resisting out there? You gotta resist him. Because he's so irresistible, isn't he? It's such a sexy thing. Dream threesome. Me, Donald Trump, Harvey Weinstein. What a mess that would be. I don't know what I was talking about. You guys fuck with Six Flags? I don't know, I went there like 6 months ago, and I didn't know, did you know there's one here, right? Yeah. They have a theme beyond this Great America? It's racist. There's a ride where it's just like a pickup truck. Just tie you up. Come on, man, I'm saying the country's bad, man. Bill Hicks, come on. You're making fun of it. I'm saying America sucks, actually. It does, but whatever. I went to Six Flags, and I didn't know there was anything, right? Beyond, there's Six Flags, right? And I was walking around, and then there was a man dressed as the Joker, which they should warn you about. It should be illegal to not warn people that there's a Joker that's paid to be there, right? They have a sign out front that says, like, no open-toed shoes. Like, just put also, oh, by the way, we pay a guy to go around dressed like the Joker. Because anywhere else, that would be like, you have an active shooter situation. You're going to need the SWAT team to intervene. Get this guy out of here. We can't deal with it. That's not hyperbole either. There was a guy that thought he was the Joker and killed a bunch of people. You all remember it. It was the greatest shooting of all time. It was the most... No, it wasn't Vegas. No one knows what that guy... And I was like, I don't want to get... Because I am prone to, like, conspiracy theories. Is that good? No, I don't... I feel like... You know what? Here's what I do feel, is that the fucking flat earth thing is just a ploy to make anyone who believes in any conspiracy theory look stupid. Because that is insane to me. That they get people to believe that. Like, we're all going to be cooked to death in 20 years. You can't even get people to believe in global warming because there's guys that are like, well, first of all, it's not a globe, so... Why don't we start there? Just fucking know-it-all. But I don't know. Yeah, the Aurora thing, because all these shootings happen and they like blame it on mental illness or whatever. It's this whole like political football game where everybody's it's like he was a Muslim but gay. Is it your fault or yours? They just argue with each other on social media. Well, with the James Holmes Aurora shooting, it was the guy that thought he was the Joker. So it's like, okay, yeah, that's mental illness. I guess mental illness can take the L. But it was, it's tragic. The whole thing is tragic all around. Because he was, like, pretty severely mentally ill, he was so he was a paranoid schizophrenic that convinced himself he was the Joker. And then he killed those people, and they published his mugshot. And you could look in his eyes, you could see in his face, like, exactly which Joker he thought he was. The Heath Ledger Joker. Obviously, clearly. The best Joker, sure. You can't say that he had bad taste in jokers. He did pick the best one. But he was suffering, you know, he was crazy. He was mentally ill. So he could have very easily thought that he was a different Joker. We almost lived in a world where a man went into a movie theater with an assault rifle going, "Bad news, folks, the movie's canceled. Tonight's entertainment is postponed. We got an AR-15 for you and smoke bombs. Good times, real time." And then those police would have to tell people that their family died because a man thought he was Jack Nicholson. And then guns would be illegal today. And he would have died as a hero. Because we don't have heroes anymore. No more heroes. You know, who's the last one? Amelia Earhart, probably. It's the last one I can think of. You know, I don't really think about anything ever. No, I mean, I guess I don't really think about gender stuff. But I was thinking the other day. It's funny that I think back to my education, and the only two women I remember learning about in school were Amelia Earhart and Helen Keller. And they're like, that's it. Those are the two girls. Right there, anything. Those are the ones we learned about. Some bitch that was so bad at flying they never found her. She's just gone. Yeah. And then a woman that was so disabled they were like, damn. Damn. People are gonna want to know about this. Get some pictures. She's gonna choke to death on a doorknob. They're like, and that is all the ladies. That's all the women in history. And then the handful of Native Americans that would accept white guys as their boyfriends. That's it. He's like, if you don't call it rape, we'll put you on the money. You have to stick around. I guess. Anyways. That is there, alright, Sackage Way, right? I was gonna think, I'm like, is Pocahontas on the money? She's the Land O'Lakes lady. Speaking of, you know who's as dumb as flat earth people is the money people. The guys that are like, this pyramid with an eye on it. You know, it's like, should just get on the fucking bus. What are you doing? What the hell does this mean? It doesn't matter. You're gonna be the guy to solve it? Just fucking pay him the dollar. I got a friend that's like a 9/11 truther that uses the money. It's an argument. You ever seen one of these people? He folds up a $20 bill. It's like, first of all, where did you even get $20? Your parents should just be giving the money directly to the landlord. They shouldn't be involved in your property. He's like, doesn't it look like the towers? It's like, no, it doesn't. And even if it did, what do you think happened? What's the turn of events in your mind? But the CIA is like, all right, we got a plan to kill 3,000 Americans for no reason. And everything's set up, except for one last step. The clues. We gotta get the clues out there. So we're gonna have the Treasury team up with Mad Magazine. We need a folder to tip off dumbasses. And that guy's like, look man, it's the Illuminati. You're like, actually it's origami. So. You can fuck with those guys too. What you do is you take the bill from them, you're like, oh yeah, watch this. And then you fold it into a paper airplane and just blow their mind forever. Right? It looks familiar? How did you do that, man? Are you Joe Rogan? Are you the Joe Rogan experience? Guys, I'm at the Joe Rogan experience on the bus. No, I met Joe Rogan on the bus, dude. No, it was him, man. He had like a $20 bill. He was just flashing it around, showing off his money. It just happened in my head. Yeah, but there aren't any heroes anymore. I did read a story about a hero out of Allentown, Pennsylvania. You guys know Allentown? It's a fucked up place. There you go. According to Billy Joel, ladies and gentlemen. Billy Joel. I guess no, you don't have to apologize. I was literally about to bring up Billy Joel. In fact, I had a sound cue prepared. We were all going to turn to you, and you were going to sing out. I thought the show was going to end. Somebody told me it was your birthday. They say he really likes Allentown. I've been doing this 15 years. Anyways, Allentown, Pennsylvania. If you want to tell people the rest of the song, do you want to know what he says about it? You guys know? We can close it all factories down. Yeah. So that's the kind of place Bernie Sanders would go. Not Hillary, but Bernie. I'm getting swole. As soon as Bernie announced his campaign, I'm like, time to beat up some girls. Just fucking kick down the door to the girl center. What are you doing here? Talking about Kamala? Not anymore. You can't bench more than me. It's time to shut up. I'm voting for socialism. Anyways, that's what's going on in Allentown. There's a story out of Allentown about a man that was caught with 58 terabytes. I don't need to finish it, right? You know where that's going. Somebody's like, what was it, Wikipedia page? 58 terabytes of what? Was he the world's smartest man? What did he do? But I mean, fuck, that's just like so much child pornography. And I know you hear 58 terabytes of child pornography and you really like just focus on the child pornography part, which is fair. But spend some time on the 58 terabytes. That's fucking insane. I still now know what a gigabyte is, right? Like terabytes is new to me. Does it mean scary gigabyte because it's filled with child porn? That's so much. 58, that's like, if you have a kid, he's in there, right? No chance your kid's not in there. What, you think you're the family that escaped that man's wrath? And your precious little boy didn't end up in that treasure trove in Allentown? I don't think so, pal. 58 terabytes, that's an astronomical number. It's the kind of number you need Neil deGrasse Tyson to explain. By being like, okay, this golf ball is the sun, and this beach ball is 58 terabytes of child pornography. Isn't science great? Then they had the audacity to say that they caught that man. No, you just went to his house. It's a house made out of child porn. The whole house. The whole thing. It's like a gingerbread house of child pornography. Probably tastes the same. Think about it. I think we're all on the same page. Let that man go. Let him go. Look, you download some of the child pornography, go to jail, right? But if you download all the child pornography, you've turned a weakness into a strength. Look, being a pedophile is pretty fucked up. But if you wake up in the morning and you say to yourself, I'm going to be the best goddamn pedophile this world has ever seen, then you're a hero. At least in Allentown. And you're closing all the factories down. I just like to imagine that guy going into like a job interview, right? And I'm like, okay, what is your greatest weakness? And he's like, pulls out a thumb drive. On a laptop? Check this out. Alright, that's the show. You guys were a lot of fun.